Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy, Michael Griggs, and welcome back to Griggs Talks, where we talk all things sports. It's been a minute. I got used to kind of uploading consistently. It's been a couple weeks now. I was busy with Easter, if any Greeks in here, Christos Anastas, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I was busy with Easter, stuff like that. United just killed me. I don't want to talk about that club anymore. But I figured, you know what? Monday morning, I don't really have much to do. Let's record. Let's watch it. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about United. Let's talk about NBA playoffs. Any other sports, any other questions you guys want to have for me. Let's just discuss, man. So yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, I'm gonna say the Knicks for a little bit later. But let's start with United. Obviously United played today, unfortunately. I had a good weekend without watching them. I didn't really watch much football this weekend, but I caught up on the highlights. I watched a couple of games back that I could have. So yeah, but United played today, 3 p.m. Then I have the Knicks later tonight, so double duty today. Not what you want, but United don't really stress me anymore. Going away to Selhurst Park. A couple auditions today for certain players. Michael Elise, Adam Morton. I know Stafford just talked about Elise on his channel. Who else we got? We got Mark Wehi audition. Joaquin Anderson audition. A bunch of players are auditioning. Hopefully Oliver Glasner audition. Maybe New Gafford, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. Couple injuries for United that no one expected, like Bruno Fernandes. I never thought I'd see the day that Bruno Fernandes would be injured enough to miss a game. He was basically like Iron Man. Yeah, look at this guy, bro. Brunson hype. Have some respect, man. This guy claims to be a Knicks fan. And he's talking about Brunson hype. Nah, look at this, man. Hating on the king of New York. Yo, Brunson, bro. If you guys are from New York, Jalen Brunson, bro. Jalen Brunson can walk into any deli right now, and there's free food for him. Free food, bro. Free food for life. Hey, look at these frauds, man. Shout out for the redirect, though. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe as you walk in. Chris's Richard audition. Is that the American center back? Yeah, he got to give it up, man. OD got to give it up. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be kind of a chill video. Q&A. You guys can ask me any questions. I'll answer. I know we do that most videos anyway, but I guess we'll just put an official title to it now. All that kind of stuff. And yeah, just let me know what you guys want me to talk about. I'll kind of have my own topics, and then we could just redirect into the other topics as well, whether it be about Chelsea, Arsenal, title race, footy, NBA, not just the Knicks. There's a bunch of good series going on right now. So Nuggets, Timberwolves, all that kind of stuff. Brunson, I think it's my boy Ravage from Twitter. Obviously, if it is, make sure you guys go check out his comps. That guy's a cop. Give it up, bro. Patience and form, man. Don't do that, man. Eli. Don't do that, man. Big up. Thank you, LC Aaron. Big up, man. What do you think about Tuchel? His first question. Let's go. Thomas 2 Chains, man. As I call him. I like to call him Tommy 2 Chains. Hey, man, yo, Bayern Munich wants Ten Hag apparently, right? That's been the little reports coming out yesterday from, I think it was at Florian Plettenberg. Also, by the way, Bayern Munich today got rejected by Lopetegui for West Ham. That, bro, it's clip for Bayern, man. They're getting rejected by every single person. But I wouldn't mind Thomas Tuchel. Obviously, there's a couple things with Thomas Tuchel that maybe wouldn't be ideal for United. He obviously falls out with a lot of boards. Maybe his man management. Sometimes it gets a little bit too harsh. He's kind of an old school manager. But I think with the proper board, like obviously Ineos are meant to be, I think Thomas Tuchel can work. I think I worry about the attacking aspect of United with Thomas Tuchel because he's kind of the manager that wants in the attack. He kind of just likes players to give them their freedom and they kind of figure it out. They're the problem, so they're the solution. They're the problem solvers. And United right now really don't have that many problem solvers within the club. You look at Garnacho, is he really a problem solver right now? Not really. Marcus Rashford at his best, he could be a problem solver, but Marcus Rashford's not at his best right now. And you would hope that Thomas Tuchel can kind of re-hype him up and stuff like that. Anthony, the opposite of the problem solver. Højlund, not really a problem solver at this stage of his career, and he might never be. Amad Diallo, we hope he could be one, but we haven't seen him have the opportunity to become one. So, and he's not really level to be at the top level yet to be that kind of problem solver. So, United needs some attacking options and under Thomas Tuchel and Michael Elise, who I think is a problem solver at his best, is the first part of kind of solving that issue. So obviously Michael Elise, we talk about him. Briggs, where you been, bro? You see what happened, bro? United have depressed me so much that I don't want to talk about that football club. So I was kind of away for a couple weeks, and then this past week I wasn't really home. I had Easter this past weekend. So I was away in New Jersey watching my godson doing Godfather duties because that's what Easter's all about. So yeah, so I've been away for a couple weeks, but I'm back now. But it's gonna be a busy month. I have a lot of events this month, but I'll try to upload as much as I can. So big up Emirates era. Since we're hypothetically moving to a possession-based side from next season, I'll start this question. Tobago. Not really. Wherever Tuchel goes, the team always scores more goals. Uh, Jersey Hut. You're definitely right about Jersey Hut, Safi. Mo, not really. Wherever Tuchel goes, the team. All right. But there's a reason for that. If you look at the attacks that Thomas Tuchel had at these previous clubs, they're better than United's current attack. PSG, brother have Mbappe, Neymar. Bro, I can coach him. I can coach Mbappe, Neymar. Bro, just tell Neymar do whatever you want, bro, and he'll solve it. Mbappe's Mbappe. At Dortmund, he had a Ousmane Dembele who just broke through. He had a Aubameyang who was still, I think that's like pretty much peak Aubameyang in terms of like athleticism, all that kind of stuff. He still had a Marco Reus before all the injuries caught up to him. I think he got a couple years of Mkhitaryan as well. So he had a great attackers. Chelsea, the only ones where I say, okay, that was actually pretty good attack. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Matt Havertz won. I'll agree with that. I think to a certain degree with Chelsea, he did some good attacking, but I always look at that Chelsea team and I look at the goals scored, and I'm like, a lot of that came from the defense. We all remember set piece Chelsea under Thomas Tuchel, bro. They were scoring set pieces every week. I was seeing Rudiger on the score sheet. Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Christensen, Reece James, Ben Chilwell. A lot of the goals came from the defense. It didn't really come from the midfield and the attack. So that's where my issue is. At United, you don't have a Reece James kind of fullback that can get you like 15 GA. You don't have a Ben Chilwell that back then Ben Chilwell was a prime GA threat. You don't have the set piece dominance of a Rudiger or of a Thiago Silva. So where are the goals going to come from in the attack? But to be fair, Chelsea, he never had a Marcus Rashford at Chelsea. Let's be real about that. Marcus Rashford is a better forward than all the other guys that he had. So we'll see, man. But I would be welcome to Thomas Tuchel because at worst, with Thomas Tuchel, he's a great stopgap. He's a great stopgap until United maybe find a manager they really, really believe can take him to that next level. He can be a good stopgap. He'll get you competing. He'll have you in all the trophies. He's a great cup manager, so you have a really good chance of at least winning a couple of trophies in the meantime, which is great for a stopgap manager. So it's not really a really big risk, in my opinion. So we'll see. Because he's not going to have that much in the transfers. If he had a lot of say in transfers, I'd say keep me away from Thomas Tuchel because his mind goes haywire when it comes to that. So if he'll buy me some players we don't need at the club, that can end up being deadwood. With him not having really much of a say, there's not really big of a risk. And that's the best thing about when you have at clubs that the managers really have no say in transfers. You don't run the risk of deadwood. That's the best possible. That's the best aspect of it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Thomas Tuchel. Would you take De Zerbi? I've been a little bit hit or miss with De Zerbi. I don't really think that he's ready for the United job. I think he needs at least one more year in Brighton. I think he needs to fix a couple of stuff. I think first of all, when I look at his attacking philosophies, the first phase of play, he emphasizes too much on first phase of play where he commits too many bodies into the first phase, which kind of leaves him short in the midfield in the second phase and third phase. So, man, will he have better players and will it maybe look a little better? Will it look a little bit smoother? Probably. But defensively, rest defense, all that kind of, I have a lot of questions. But he did have a good performance against, Brighton had a good performance against Aston Villa this past weekend. It looked like he outcoached Emery. So, we'll see, man. I think De Zerbi, the ceiling can be high. He can like if he improves to a certain level, I think it could go really well. But I think the risk, it could easily be a catastrophe. It could be a catastrophe. So I'm a little bit mad on it. But man, it is what it is. And then we'll get to Bego's question. Since we're hypothetically moving to a possession-based side from next season, do you think Sancho and a player like Elise on the wing play will click for Haaland? Theoretically, it would work. I think Jadon Sancho and Elise creatively, I think would be a good wing pairing. Do I like the pace in that attack? Not really. And I always do say you need a runner in your front three, which could be theoretically Haaland, to be fair. I also would like more direct wingers. I think Elise is direct enough to kind of go alongside his creativity. I think with me, Jadon Sancho is never really my cup of tea winger. Obviously, do I think he's a good winger? Yes. Do I think he's a good player? Yes. Do I think he's a United level when United are competing at the highest level in the Premier League? No. That's my issue with Jadon Sancho. I just don't think he's cut out for the Premier League. And that's not because the Premier League is the best league in the world. You could argue it is, but he just doesn't suit the style of the Premier League. Back then, maybe a couple of decades ago, maybe he actually could have suited it more because there's a lot more space and all that kind of stuff. In the Bundesliga, he thrives. In Champions League, he thrives because in Champions League, a lot of space. Look at how much space was in that PSG game. There was a lot of space for people to run into, and he cooked. And he was fantastic on Wednesday. He should have won man of the match. absolutely sensational. One of the best semifinal performances you'll see without a goal or assist. He was fantastic, and I wish him the best because it looks like he wants to be at Dortmund. He doesn't want to leave Dortmund. I get it, bro. He went back to comfortability, and the best place to be is where you're comfortable at. And he's comfortable at Dortmund. He never got comfortable at United. There's one thing about Manchester United, whether you're a Sancho fan, whether you're not, and you should all agree with me on this. The weight of that jersey is very, very heavy. Not many people can wear it, especially when United are at this toxicity level when it comes to not really being successful. The weight of the jersey is easier when you're really playing well, all that kind of stuff, because you could kind of hide in the limelight while you let the other players, the other stars shine. But we're not good right now, so that the light is shining on every single player. Some players maybe have the light shining more on them, like on Marcus Rashford, because he's kind of the bigger player. He's the bigger name. He has the number 10 on his back, all that kind of stuff. But Jadon Sancho, you came for 70 mil. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on you. And if you're not succeeding and the team is not succeeding at the same time, it's going to look bad on you. And I think the weight of the jersey got to him. He was never confident enough to be at United, in my opinion. Mentally, maybe he thought he was, but you could tell on that pitch, there's a difference between Dortmund Sancho and there's a difference between United Sancho. I'm not only going to blame Jadon Sancho. I think United do have a little bit blame in this to play as well. But I also got to look at Jadon Sancho and hold him accountable for his own actions and stuff like that. I'd never, like, when you look at a Garnacho, is Garnacho a better player than Jadon Sancho? No, he's not, especially at this stage of his career. But one thing Garnacho has over Jadon Sancho is confidence. And Garnacho took that spot from the scruff of the neck and he ran with it. Jadon Sancho never really did that for me. And that's where that's where my issue is with him. But you were 21, you were top of the world. You were one of the most sought out after wingers. Why wasn't that confidence there? And maybe it just never happened at United. Maybe it was because he wanted the number 7, the Ronaldo, stuff like that. I don't know what it was. I'm not in his camp. I don't know him like that, so I don't know what happened. But that's my thing with Jadon Sancho. Big up Z, my boy. Big up Ronnie. Would you take the manager from Girona thinking because of the City Group connections with World Cup? I don't think he's ready for that. I think let's see how he does in Champions League with Girona. They just made Champions League football. I think another year Girona, because bro, you could just say that this is all a 1 year kind of luck, right? They're losing Savio this summer. He was big. He was crucial to how they played. Let's see how he looks without him and stuff like that. I kind of want to see what he looks like without those kind of players, and I'll see what he does in Champions League. Can he repeat it in La Liga? All that kind of stuff. I don't think that. I think what's his name, Michelle. I don't think he's ready for that yet. So, yeah. But just send me a text. Give it up. I'm trying to think what else is there. But yeah, United, man. We played tonight. I haven't really talked about United in a minute. Obviously Bruno Fernandes. Let's talk about Bruno. Ten Hag did the unthinkable. He has done the unthinkable. He has managed to run Bruno Fernandes to the ground. Last year, I saw Bruno Fernandes in crutches, and he was playing 12 hours later. Today, it appears that he will most likely miss the game due to ankle injury. He's a broken hand as well. That's why he's wearing the Benzema tail, as I like to call it. Wow. Bro, I never thought to say that Bruno Fernandes is injured. It sucks for him. Obviously, I think he's had a good last couple 3-4 games. He's kind of getting into good form. Kind of wanted to see him continue that up until the cup final against Manchester City. I think he has a part to play in that, but it's good rest for him. Maybe because he looked really, really leggy against Burnley. I don't know, that game was about like 10 days ago now, but another extra week could be good for him off. And it's also exciting to see who can come in for Bruno Fernandes now. Will we see a Mason Mount? Will we see an Amad Diallo in the 10? Let's see what Ten Hag cooks up. Will I see Christian Eriksen in the 10 and just be depressed? I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it sucks for Bruno. Also, no center backs for tonight other than Johnny Evans. So Casemiro, Johnny Evans, center back pairing at Selhurst Park under the lights. Well, if that doesn't scream 4-0 to Crystal Palace, I don't know what will. I really don't know what will. Mateta's gonna score on me. Jordan Ayew might score on me. Alicia's probably gonna score on me. So it's gonna be peak. Red Devil TV says Glasner will show 10 how a properly coached team plays, bro. Hey man, Olivier Glasner won the Europa League with Frankfurt. He's a good manager. He looks like he has Palace cooking. But you can also say though, to be fair, not really to be fair to Ten Hag, but Palace, when you look at Palace's attack, it's better than our attack. At least it's better than all our forwards this year. I bet Isha Ezzi's better than all our forwards this year. Mateta's playing at a better level than Rasmus Højlund right now. Adam Morton would start for us at midfield next to Kobe Mainu. That Munoz guy, actually no, that was better than him. Anderson and Guehi would both probably be at least one of them is starting for us. Tyreek Mitchell, due to our current left back issue, would be starting for us. Only goalkeeper. Can't really say. Yeah, Sheik Decore's injured, so I can't really say him. Who else in the midfield? Will Hughes is probably starting for us right now. I'm gonna be real, bro. Well, we're dead, man. So, what is happening in training for? I don't know what's happening. I want to be a fly on the wall, and if I was a fly, I want to go to United. I want to fly all the way to Carrington. I want to go to United training sessions, and I really want to see what goes on in training, not just the videos that they show us on the United website and the YouTube. I really want to go when the cameras turn off. What do they do in training? Because the cameras aren't always on. So let's see what they do in training. Because under early, we made fun of them, right? It was balls and bins that they were doing, like the little fun activities, right? That you do for vibes. We said that there was no training going on. Well, what kind of training? Maybe there's too much training going on here because these guys are always injured, bro. How did Bruno Fernandes manage to get injured enough to miss a game? The guy's never missed a game in his professional career. He's been playing since like 2015, and he's never missed a game. It's been 9 years. He only missed one game due to the flu. So that's not even an injury. That's just getting a cold. That's crazy, bro. That's absolutely ridiculous to think about. But the highlight of our season is one man that is Kobe Minu. Kobe Minu is the highlight of our season. It's a great highlight to have. It's good for them to build forward to. I'm interested to see the midfield battle between him and Adam Morton today. There was an article that dropped about comparing the both of them. Very racism undertones to that article, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see that battle. I think two of them might end up being a pivot for England in the future. Who knows, man? Adam Morton has a high ceiling. But shout out to Palace for getting him. What's his name? Blake Friedman, who's also linked to Newcastle for the director of football job, which also has to do with us because of what's his name? Dan Ashworth. That kind of domino. He's a good player, man. Blackburn, they got him for like 20 mil. I've always said, man, United needs to shop in the championship more. This summer, I'm not even joking. This summer, obviously, maybe if you go get a league on talent, that's fine. United need to shop primarily in the Premier League and the Championship. Get me people that are ready to play in this league now. Now, like tomorrow, like today, they're ready to play in the league. Like, I'm not even joking. Left back, bro. You can't get an Ainuri or a Robinson or a Kirkesh. Forget about going to La Liga for the young Kudos and the Gutierrez dudes. Go Ipswich, go get Lee Davis. I promise you, Championship and Premier and lower level Premier League, there is a lot of quality in there, ready to step up in this league for the top teams. Forget about them taking the stepping stone, because when they go to that stepping stone, because Crystal Palace is a stepping stone for Adam Morton, guess what? That 20 mil that Palace played for him is going to end up having to cost you 80 mil. So if your scouts are good enough, which I do believe Manchester United scouts are good enough, because I've seen the names that they have brought forward to the club to sign that the club never decided to. Those guys know how good they are. And I hope Ineos listen to the scouts more and just say, nah, let's wait for it to see him at a higher level. Nah, bro, to take the risk. It's 20 mil at the end of the day for Manchester United. That's not going to cause you into bankruptcy. So do it, man. Just do it. I think United need to really look into that, man. I think there's a lot of good players in the lower league of the Prem and in the Championship, man. Championship, what a league, by the way. Shout out to Ipswich. Congratulations to Ipswich, by the way. Kieran McKenna recruited. Kieran McKenna promoted for Ipswich. Took him from League One after he left United to the Championship, down to the Premier League. It's fantastic what he's done with I think, a League One level squad. So, yeah, Ronnie Dodge, just wondering who's going to be captain tonight then. That's a good question, Maybe they finally take my idea of playing spin the wheel for captain. Maybe they finally take my idea seriously. But let's realistically think about it. Onana, nah. Dallo, maybe. Maybe Dallo. Casemiro, potentially. Wan-Bissaka, I doubt it. Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans will be captain tonight. It's between Johnny Evans and Casemiro, I think. Johnny Evans, obviously United through and through, academy graduate, all that kind of stuff. I think Johnny Evans will be captain tonight, personally. Yeah, and that's it. It's going to be Johnny Evans, man. It's going to be Johnny Evans. Shout out Johnny Evans, bro. Shout out Johnny Evans. But yeah, I'll do a quick score prediction. I think Palace win, I'm not going to lie. I think Palace win like 2-1, 3-1. I think United will get a goal, but I just don't see us winning that game, bro. Selhurst Park under the lights is peak. And this is a good Palace team, by the way. This is a good Palace team. And there's a part of me, obviously, I want Alicia and I want those guys in my club, but there is a really big part of me that wants to see this Palace team stay together this summer and see what they look like for a full year under Oliver Glasner. Let's see if the hype is really, really real, because it looks good right now, right? But let's see how it goes. I really want to see him, man. And sometimes I hate with Palace, like they get so many good players, right? Because they have a top academy, they have a top recruitment system, they know where to shop at. I want to see what they look like for a full year, keeping their best players, man. And they finally have a good manager too. They've had the Roy Hodgsons and the Patrick Vieira's. They finally got a really, really good gaffer. I really want to see what it looks like. But at least he's bound to leave at the end of the day. But I know Palace, bro. With Palace, I already know who the recruitment is gonna be. They're gonna go get that Philly Gene guy from Hull City. He looks really good. So yeah, man. God forbid giving. Yeah, I actually agree with this. God forbid giving Casemiro the armband. I would not give Casemiro the armband. That's just me. You better stop those bum pages tonight. Hate them so much. We'll talk about NBA a little bit later. Knicks Nation, rise. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting with United tonight. But yeah, anything else in football? Obviously, what did I take? What did I take Isaiah United? I would take Isaiah United. I think Eberechi is a cold player. He's kind of I like the way he plays. He really glides. He has a good ball strike on him. He's good. He's a good goal scorer. He creates a lot too. I'm not even over dribble, but he's a top player. It's just the price really for me that would be an issue. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens with Isaiah, but I wonder where he goes. I know probably a City are looking at him. I think for Spurs under and I think he'd really cook. I think he fits Spurs more than a Madison would. So yeah, but I like Isaiah, man. He's a good player. Maybe Liverpool could also use him as well. A lot of teams in the top 6 can use Isaiah. But yeah, when I said 3-1 Palace, right? Yeah, United. But anything else in the Prem? Obviously, title race. I think it's finito. So if there's any Arsenal fans in here, I know TK is not in here right now, but any Arsenal fans, it's time to sing the give it up music, man. It's not looking good. I think City are just too dominant now. They don't really have any hard games left. If you guys want to say Spurs, like I said on multiple channels, I don't think Spurs will really. I'm not gonna say they're gonna give it up and they're gonna give up and just lay it on the floor for City, but I don't think Spurs are gonna approach that game at 100%. I really don't. They don't have nothing to fight for. I think Champions League for them is over. So yeah, man, City are inevitable. They're gonna do a 4-peat in probably, in my opinion, the worst Pep team since the first year of Pep. And then they're gonna recruit in the summer. They're gonna recharge. They're gonna get better players in. They got money to spend. Bro, what happens when they end up with a Paqueta and a Musiala this summer? What are we gonna do then? God, this Pep guy needs to leave my league, man. Ron, be embarrassing to have Chelsea to finish above us, but it is what. Is it really embarrassing though? Is it really embarrassing? Because obviously, if you guys follow me on Twitter, if you follow me for a minute, you know that I've gotten cooked on several occasions for saying Chelsea are a better football club than Manchester United at this current moment. And United trained me for a moment when we slapped them up at Old Trafford. I thought maybe we actually are better. But then we continue being bad. And I've clocked a long time, but people now are coming to the conclusion that I arrived at a long time ago, that Chelsea are better than Manchester United. They have a better squad. The coaching is still up for grabs. I'm not going to lie. I don't think either of them are really good coaches. So we can call that even. United currently have a better board. I'll give them that. And Chelsea should be better than us. They spent $1 billion in 2 years. They should be better than us. Like, they generally should be better than us. Let's not give them like this young team that it's a nice little story or that kind of stuff. They should be better. They should be better than us. They should be better than Spurs too. They should be finishing above Spurs and they should be finishing above Aston Villa with the money that they spent the past couple of years. But it's not embarrassing for me because at the end of the day, every single footballing metric has shown that Chelsea have been better than us this season. They have more XG, they have more expected points, they have all that kind of stuff. So, in my opinion, they deserve to be. Olympiacos versus Villa watch along. We'll think about that, Rohin. We'll think about that. We don't have a good history with watch alongs that have to do with Greece. We don't have a good history with that. So we'll see. We'll see. But big up Olympiacos too, though. I didn't really talk on the way, but Olympiacos 4, Aston Villa 2. Villa held the 4-piece at Villa Park. Unai Emery hype. And I've told people this about the Premier League. The level of the Premier League this year, in terms of team quality, all that kind of stuff, in my opinion, at the top level is very, very bad. I look at City and I look at Arsenal. I think they're a cut above the rest. But even then, Arsenal, they were not. I don't think they're ready for the occasion. And I think Manchester City, I said this is probably one of the weaker Manchester Cities in the past couple of years. You look at Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool are that good. I look at Villa and Spurs, I don't really think they're that good compared to the other UCL teams from other leagues. United and Chelsea are not that good. Brighton are not that good. Newcastle, they had a lot of injuries, and I think they were always due for a little bit of a regression. The Prem is not good. The Prem is not good. It's as simple as that. You can say it's the best league, it's the most competitive, it has the most views, all that kind of stuff. That's great. But the defenses in this league is absolutely abysmal. No one knows how to defend in this league, bar Arsenal. I'm not even joking. Bar Arsenal, no one knows how to defend in this league. No one has an appreciation for defending in this league. It's absolutely abysmal. Everyone's trying to play the Pep way, man. Out the back, highline, all that kind of stuff. Where's the tactical variety throughout the league? How many managers really try to play different from each other in this league? Because a lot of them all try to play the same. In La Liga, you have a couple of the really pragmatic teams, and then you have a couple of the tiki-taka teams, and then you have Madrid with the laissez-faire football, which is hoops. Bundesliga, if Xavi Alonso is doing a little bit different. You have Bayern Munich doing a little bit different. You have Dortmund Dortmund have become a little bit more of a pragmatic side. You have Stuttgart, Serie A, Juventus, Inter, AC Milan, Napoli, Rome. All these teams play different from each other. You have Bologna cooking up this season. Shout out to Thiago Motta. He has salad makers looking like Pac out there, man. It's ridiculous. So that's where I'm at with the Premier League. I generally can't see us getting any wins in our last game. I've said, bro, obviously United beat Sheffield, but I said it before that Sheffield game. I would be surprised if United win the game. They won that game, but then we drew with Burnley. We're not beating Palace. We're not beating Arsenal. We might have something for Newcastle at Old Trafford, and we're definitely not beating Brighton last game of the season, unless De Zerbi throws the game. So, but United are going to limp into the FA Cup final, and then we're going to get slapped, and it's Vitex, bro. I just don't think United are that good. United are just not going to finish the season well. We're going to finish the season negative goal difference. I promise you that. We are finishing the season on negative goal difference for the first time in our Premier League history since the Premier League era started in 1992. United will finish with a negative goal difference. I promise you that. And you know how embarrassing that is. And by the way, there's a chance that this guy stays past this season. Someone, I think was it, shout out Badir on Twitter. He mentioned that, maybe it was Gideon Matic actually, that the media in other countries is actually more harsh. And I'm like, I kind of agree with you because Erik ten Hag is about to have Manchester United finished out of Europe and finish with a negative goal difference in his second year after spending £400 million. And there are not more articles and there's not more demands for him to lose his job. From anyone, really. Not from the legend, all that kind of stuff. If that happened at Bayern Munich, you know what would happen? Barcelona, Real Madrid, AC Milan, Juventus. And that's the level, and in terms of hierarchy, in terms of prestige, that's the level that United are at with those clubs. There's not really a call for it, bro. That's why I'm looking, bro. Ten Hag has gotten away with murder in a sense. This manager set us up to fail. He did set us up to fail, and I don't understand why there's not more cost-based accountability. People let him get away with a lot of stuff in press conferences, by the way. And I know journalists have a little bit of a tough time because you kind of have a lot of questions kind of vetted and stuff like that, and you're not really allowed to ask the hard-hitting questions unless it's a one-on-one interview. But even Gary Neville, for example, did the interview with Ten Hag, right? He didn't really dig into the deeper stuff. He didn't press him. Why didn't he press him? What are you afraid of ruining your relationship with United, bro? That's not gonna happen. You're Gary Neville. You're a big name. You're a bigger name than Erik ten Hag within the club. You said a lot of stuff about the Glazers before that nothing happened. So why didn't you dig deeper? Why didn't you press Ten Hag harder? That's what it is for me. Big up my boy JJ. There was I muted myself for a second. Hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? I think it's good. But yeah, man, Pochettino hasn't gotten pressed like that. And now obviously the Matt Law article came out about how Pochettino should keep his job and kind of should he really keep his job? I'm not the one to really call for people's jobs and stuff like that, but does Pochettino really hand to heart deserve to keep his job after the year that he's had? I know it's a little bit of a with the board and stuff like that, but so I think I'm not gonna lie, there needs to be a little bit. The English media sometimes a little bit too nice. They're actually focusing on the wrong issues. They're focusing too much on players. What about managers? At the end of the day, I always say this: a lot of players' reflections and reflection on the pitch is what they do on the pitch and stuff like that is a reflection of their manager and the tactics, especially in 2024, because there's much more emphasis on the systems in football. So, in my opinion, they need to be a little bit more stricter with that. But that's just me. But enough about football, man. If you guys have any more football questions, send them in the chat. Obviously, there's 28 of you here, so I hope all 28 of you have liked and subscribed. Um, so yeah, let's talk about a little bit about basketball now. If I know some of you guys might leave now because basketball hype and all that kind of stuff, but NBA playoffs have been where it's at this year. This past couple weeks. Let's talk about first of all New York Knicks Nation. We beat Philadelphia. Actually, one more question. There we go. What Eric should have done, saw that what we were trying to do wasn't working and go back to last year. He should have adapted. I understand kind of what's it called? I only talked about this in his interview in the overlap. At United, eventually pragmatism can only work for so long because at the end of the day, you have to be the aggressor. You have to be the one that's proactive and you have to take the initiative in the game. And you have to take that next step. Only waited 2 years and then thought he could take the next step. It didn't work out. And I think the Ronaldo transfer had a big part to play in that. But that's a discussion for another day. With Ten Hag, he had last year. But I think last year, it wasn't like a pragmatism to the level of Ole. He could have moved the line up a little bit. I think he should have moved the defensive line a little bit higher up. He could have dropped the attacking line a little bit lower. And United could have played better. I think he should have mixed a little bit of his Ajax style with last year. You could mix styles, and you could have tweaked a little bit. And he tweaked a little bit too much. He tried to go for a home run when all he needed really was like a double for a little bit of baseball analogy. You didn't have to go for the big hitting that question. So yeah, man, I think he should have waited a little bit, and it's gonna cost him his job at the end of the day, most likely. So that's just me though. Would you swap Bruno for Frankie? I don't really think Frankie de Jong works in the Premier League. I'm gonna be real, man. I really don't think he works in the Premier League. But at the end of the day, we don't really have a Frankie. And I guess maybe if you build the midfield of what? Frankie, Kobe, and a 6 could maybe work. We'll see. Frankie's also younger. Bruno, I guess I would. Not really like for like though, but that's just me. Big up stuff as well. Greg's off question. What's your midfield against Warren Eze for me? Mount, Kobe, Amrabat. Yeah, probably my midfield too. I wouldn't mind Amrabat, Kobe, Ahmad, personally, but Palace midfield do have a lot of legs, so I wouldn't Mount in there. But yeah, I would actually have Mount and Ahmad, right center mid, right wing, link up. But I like that midfield. I think that's the midfield we should go with, but it's not gonna be the midfield that we go with because I'm gonna see Christian Eriksen out there. So yeah, but back to the Knicks until there's another football question because I'm sure there will be. You guys keep sending them in. I love talking about it. Patient 6, give it up. Knicks, yeah. No, it's on the Knicks, obviously. Philadelphia. I didn't do any watch longs for the NBA because I promised myself I wouldn't because I'm not doing a watch long for a team from one of my obviously Olympiacos Villa. I wouldn't mind it, right? That's good vibes. But the Knicks playoffs is too much stress for me. I'm not doing it after the World Cup thing with Greece. I'm never doing it again, man. No, I don't know if you guys want to see me like rant and stuff like that. I just can't do it. I genuinely can't do it. It's too much stress for me. What happened against Philadelphia 76ers? That game 5, if I was on a watch along, I would have gotten banned. My head was hot. And game 6, my head was hot. But we won. We advanced past Philly. Philly hype. Tyrese Maxey. I'll say this about Tyrese Maxey. He's earned my respect. Fair enough to you, bro. But Joel Embiid, as a Knicks fan, this is my opinion. These are my own, all that kind of stuff. Joel Embiid can get offered to the Knicks. If I was allowed to make a decision, I'd say no. That guy is not, for me, welcome on the Knicks. Of all the actions and stuff like that. That's just not my type of player. But shout out Jalen Brunson. And I've always said, for me, Carmelo Anthony is the best nigga in my lifetime. I wasn't a lot from the Patrick Ewing days, well, Kai Frazier, Willis Reed, all those kind of days. Jalen Brunson might be overtopping Melo for my favorite Knick of all time. What he's doing in these playoffs, 4 straight games with, I think, 35 plus, is absolutely sensational. The shots that he was making were absolutely sensational. And he was the best player on the court in that series with the MVP on the court in Joel Embiid. He was the one getting MVP chance at Philly. And we turned Philly into MSG 2.0. That's why I love New Yorker, man. We traveled so well, and the city was on fire after that game. And tonight, if we win game one, that city's gonna be on fire. And we always talk about how history comes full circle, all that kind of stuff. The last time I was this excited about the Knicks was 2012, 2013. We won the first round. Like I think it was against Boston. Another kind of East Coast opponent. Now the second one was the Indiana Pacers we played. And we were all looking forward to the Eastern Conference Final matchup against Miami. Same way I'm kind of looking forward to the Eastern Conference Finals matchup against Boston now. We came up against a young Indiana team with a Paul George. I guess this version of Paul George would be a Tyrese Halliburton, right? David West, Pascal Siakam. So kind of a couple similarities. Miles Turner, Roy Hibbert, different players though. It's gonna be a tough matchup. Pacers have a really. We always talk about how styles make fights. Indiana and the Knicks are two different kind of styles. Pacers are high octane offense, fast. The Knicks, we're slow, we're methodical. We try to slow the game down. We try to bring the game to our pace. Will it work? We'll see. But we do have home court. The Garden is rocking. I don't think the Garden has ever rocked this much. I think the fact that it's a younger team than the Knicks in 2012-13. There's a lot more hope for this Knicks team, I think, than there was for that team. Because at the end of the day, when you were that Knicks team, at the end of the day, you kind of were expecting to run into LeBron James, and you didn't expect to beat LeBron. There's Knicks fans that believe that they could beat Boston. Not me. I don't think we could beat Boston. I think we're at that level yet. I think we're one guy away, especially with no Julius Randle either. But the Knicks fans believe, and that Garden will be rocking, and the Knicks must maintain home court. We must. Because at the end of the day, Indiana will not be Philly 2.0. We will not be able to rock in there and take over. So, and we saw what they did to Milwaukee in Indiana. So, the Knicks, we must just maintain home court. And if the series has to go 7, it might have to go 7. Celtics are going to sweep Cleveland, or at least gentlemen sweep them. So they're going to be well rested. Would I like to wrap this up? Would I like to wrap the series up in 5? Absolutely. Sweep all the home games, take one in Indiana, call it a day. Probably won't happen though. I think the series ends in 6 with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson needs to rise. It's going to be I think it's the easier matchup for him. He's not going to be getting guarded by Kelly Oubre and Nicholas Batum. But he's going to have to rise. It's a better series for us, I think, matchup-wise. But we'll see, man. But I'm so excited for the Knicks, man. It's so good to have a team close to home, obviously, because United aren't really close to home, right? And footy is my number one love, but basketball is my second love when it comes to sports. And the Knicks, bro, I want to see the Knicks win more than anything in life other than Greece. So we'll see. But first, basketball question. Griggs, will LeBron remain Laker? I do think LeBron stays in LA. I do think so. I think Darvin Ham is gone now. Maybe we'll see if LeBron hires his podcast buddy JJ Redick. But I do think LeBron stays a Laker. There's obviously like his wife loves LA. Who wouldn't love LA, right? The sunshine, all that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't mind if LeBron tests free agency and the Knicks finally end up getting LeBron James. What's it called? A relationship that's meant to happen like about for the last 10 years. Every single time LeBron tests free agency, right? And he looked like he's leaving his team. It's always been Knicks to favorite. And we were the favorites after he left Cleveland the first time. That we messed up in our recruitment pitch. We were the favorites when he left Miami, but obviously he went back home. We were the favorites when he left Cleveland the second time. Ended up going to LA because Magic Johnson put the boss call in. And now, I personally don't see a better fit for LeBron than going to the Knicks. Like Harden, you obviously still chasing Jordan in terms of like the talk and stuff like that. If LeBron were to win a ring with the New York Knicks and end this drought, do you know how much of a legacy boost that is? Especially at his age. I think he's turning 40 next year. At 40 years old, to win a ring with the New York Knicks, one of the most popular franchises in sport, the Garden, the Mecca, and you win a ring there. Bro, forget about Michael Jordan, bro. Michael Jordan will be irrelevant because at the end of the day, LeBron James, you will have a whole city of New York, the biggest market in sports, behind you in the talk. Stephen A. Smith, if LeBron were to win a ring for the Knicks, I promise you he's abandoning his MJ as a GOAT. He's saying LeBron's a GOAT. The statue will be built outside the Garden. So I think for me, LeBron, bro, let's run it. I think him and Brunson would actually be a good fit. You look at how LeBron worked with Kyrie. Is Brunson the level of a Kyrie? No, not really. But kind of similar styles, the ISO kind of player, stuff like that. You have the OG Anunoby defender. LeBron would play the 4, in my opinion. You have iHeart or maybe like a Mitch for the lobs. You have OG Anunoby, like I said. You have a Dante, the sniper. So, yeah, man, it'd be a good fit. Josh Hart off the bench. It'll be a good fit. Dudes off the bench, so yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good fit, man. But another team I really want to talk about with the NBA, and a team I think that's making the biggest statement, and I think have been the biggest winner so far in the NBA playoffs, is the Minnesota Timberwolves. We are witnessing, ladies and gentlemen, for the 14 of you still in here, Anthony Edwards is a superstar. He is a superstar. This is the ascension of Anthony Edwards, and I think there could be a strong case for him to be considered a top 5 player in the league by the end of this playoffs. This spectacular basketball. What he did to Denver on Saturday night, the defending champs, Nikola Jokic's house, the best player in the league in my opinion. He walked in there and he threw the first punch and it landed. And it was a strong punch. Minnesota looked dominant on Saturday. They looked a better team for most of the game. They bullied Jokic to a certain extent, to the most of that you can. So, yeah, man, I thought it was really, really good from Minnesota. And they kind of, I don't know if you guys remember the Boston run a couple years ago, right, when they ran into the Warriors. This Minnesota team reminds me of them. They swept the KD team in the first round, the big three, all that kind of stuff. They ran into the defending champs in the second round. Boston beat Milwaukee that year. Minnesota's currently playing Denver. And I think Minnesota will win the series, in my opinion. I think Minnesota wins in the 6. Then who do you have? Obviously, I think Boston played Miami in the third round in the conference finals. Minnesota were to win they play either Dallas or OKC. Not really a comparison. And then obviously the finals, we'll see. I think it'll be Boston in the finals. But yeah, man, I think Minnesota have a legit shot to win the ring. Rudy Gobert, fantastic all-time defender. One of the best rim protectors we've seen. And just his ability to even defend on the perimeter for his size is spectacular. Jaden McDaniels, great defender. Mike Conley, veteran point guard. He's doing his job. Karl Anthony Towns did his job. You know, Naz Reid did close out the game on Saturday, but that's fine. They have a stacked roster. And really, I think their biggest enemy, if they were to fall, would be themselves. The offense and stuff like that. Sometimes they take too many dumb shots and stuff like that. But defensively, they're spectacular. Offensively, no one can really guard Ant on that Denver team. So, yeah, man, I always said Denver do not want to run into Minnesota in the playoffs because last year, I know they beat them in 5, but there was no Naz, there was no Jaden. So, we'll see now, man. Yeah, I think Denver are in a lot of trouble, and a lot of people had them repeating. It ain't easy to repeat in the NBA, man. And Denver don't have the stacked team and the depth to really repeat. That Warriors team was able to repeat because, first of all, they had the big 3, KD, Klay, Steph, Draymond. So, and the NBA wasn't as strong. The NBA is in a much better state than it was back then. So it's a lot tougher. And yeah, man, I just don't think they'll do it. But yeah, big up Minnesota, man. Big up Ant-Man. That guy's a superstar. He's my favorite non-Nick right now. He's amazing to watch. And bro, if you gave me basically, if there's like a draft, right, and you could take any player in the league to draft right now, other than Wemby because he's a freak of nature. The second player I take is Anthony Edwards. I'll take him over Luka and stuff like that. Like, I think Luka's better than him right now. Yes, I think Ant's ceiling is absolutely ridiculous, bro. Because they be talking about, obviously, if you guys have been keeping in touch with the rap beef, right? Kendrick Drake. They talking about how Drake be hiding a daughter allegedly. They be saying that Michael Jordan hit Anthony Edwards for 22 years. That guy's that. No, I don't watch MJ because I wasn't alive back then. But from the highs I've seen stuff like that and the demeanor of MJ. This is his son. This is MJ 2.0. This is a perfect reminiscence of MJ. So we'll see though. But I think they play tonight too. Knicks Pacers tonight as well. I think Knicks win game 1. I think we're gonna be riding on a high from Philly. The Garden's gonna be rocking. We had a couple days of rest as well. We needed that because all our guys be playing 45 plus minutes. I hope Tibbs is locked in. And it's time for us New Yorkers to defeat our demons of 2013. Beat the Indiana Pacers. And let's go to the conference finals. And from then, whatever happens. If we lose to Boston, it's fine. It's not really fine. I'm going to be sad. But at the end of the day, I know we lost to a great team. And I'm not going to be mad at it because they're going to be the favorites. We're the favorites in the series. I can't lose being the favorite. I'm fine losing being the underdog. I can't lose being the favorite. So that's just from my point of view. And then United also at 3 p.m. So like I said, double duty. We'll see what happens. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The 44 minutes. If you guys have any last questions, drop them in the chat. But yeah, and then what's upcoming for me? Obviously, A-list is tonight after the United game, or an hour after the United game ends, so 6 p.m. I'll probably do then a quick match reaction for the United game. we'll see what happens for that. So VTEX. And then next game, option to watch that from home. Obviously, maybe go out to a bar, watch it with the Knicks, watch it with my fellow New Yorkers. And yeah. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to do big up Greg. It's good to see you. Yeah, but thank you, man. Appreciate it. Big up the Terrace as well, big up Terry. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do these once a week. Obviously, summer's coming up. I have a couple plans for the summer. I have a couple plans for the Euros that you guys should be on the lookout for. Honestly, at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of at the point where I'm just waiting for the football season to end. As a United content creator, there's not really much to talk about. You guys know the saying, once your season ends, you're in Cancun. United, at the end of the day, I think United at the Premier League wise, right? We're in Cancun right now. We have nothing to fight for. And I think we're finishing outside of Europe. FA Cup, obviously, we'll be there. I'll be locked in for that. But Prem wise, I don't care. I don't care what happens to any game. As long as I don't see Kobe Mino get injured. I just don't want anyone to get injured. That's pretty much it. Just want all my guys to stay fit. That's about it. Results wise, I don't care. If we finish Europa, great. I just want to avoid Conference League. That's about it. So there's not really much to talk about from. But obviously, there's a lot of football going on. But when you look around Europe, there's no title race. Every league is pretty much wrapped up. So that's kind of boring. Obviously, Prem, but let's be real. City are winning it. Griggs, make sure to help us beating Arsenal. Oh, you're a City fan. I can tell from the Ruben Diaz, Avi. No, I will not. I would not want to help you win the Premier League. You know, as much I would love to beat Arsenal with no center back. That would be pretty funny to watch. But yeah, no, I want Arsenal to win. Unfortunately, it's a really big unfortunately because today I saw someone say that Kai Havertz is going to run around like Thierry Henry at Old Trafford next week. And maybe he will because Thierry Henry only scored 1 goal at Old Trafford in his career. So maybe he does move like Thierry Henry. Maybe he doesn't score. Maybe. Have you ever thought about that, Arsenal fans? Have you ever thought about that? But we'll see. But yeah, like I said, but I'm kind of just waiting for the season's end, Euros content, Champions League final, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot like more jazz, kind of more chat interactive content because I kind of want you guys. Sometimes monologues are cool and all, kind of just talking to I'm talking to people, but kind of like the solo content. But I kind of want to get you guys more involved. Kind of maybe jazz, bring a couple of guests, bring the boys on, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just kind of do that kind of content and a lot of Euros content because I love the Euros, obviously. For me, AFCON's a great international tournament, but I'm not that like well knowledge into the AFCON scene. But Euros, obviously, most of these guys play at the top clubs and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit more locked in, and it's a fun tournament. 2021 was a movie, so and I think it will repeat itself. And a lot of players to talk about, a lot of young stars on the rise to talk about. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great tournament. Copa America as well. A couple of talents in there. Uruguay, Argentina. I think Ecuador made it. That Kendrick Pius kid that went to Chelsea, he looks fantastic. So yeah, Hugo, big up Griggs. I'm not saying that. But yeah, big up Hugo. I'm not saying that. I don't like your I don't like your fan base, man. It's so cringe. But it is what it is. But obviously, Hugo, I appreciate you as an Arsenal fan because you're on my channel. But the rest of them on Twitter, they piss me off. Except a couple of them that are my mutuals. Those are my guys. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun summer. It's gonna be a busy summer because we gotta make sure that we keep the content up. So yeah, like I said, A-listers tonight on Hassam's. This is football. I'm sure you guys will be there, all of you. Oh, we have that. Listen to Hamza monologue. Apparently, I've been warned that Hamza is gonna say that Erling Haaland is better than Robin van Persie. We'll see about that. And what I say, match reaction after the game on here. We'll probably do that. We haven't done a match reaction in the last couple of games. We'll talk about that, and then we'll see after that. Maybe Knicks game reaction tomorrow morning. That kind of stuff. Let me know if you want to see more basketball content. Maybe do like a takeaways, or I might just stick to articles for that. And yeah, just like I said, I've always said, just let me know in the comments, or in the chat, like what kind of videos you want me to do, and if I could do it, I'll try to do it to the best of my ability. With like thumbnails and stuff like that. And yeah, man, I just love talking about sports. So any sport you want me to talk about, I pretty much watch it. Even hockey I picked up because the Rangers are nice. Golf will be the only sport I will not be talking about. So if you guys want to talk about golf, go to State of Footy and CK, who watches golf, and talk about that. UFC, Omar, that kind of stuff. Give it up players rank. That's a long list, It's a long list. I'm going to have you on that show, Safi. I'm going to have you, Safi, I'm going to have you for that show. And I'm gonna have you name the players, and I'll rank them. So I'm gonna let you create the player list. You create the player list. I'll bring you on it. I'll bring on the channel, and then you tell me the players, and then we'll rank them. Griggs, if Casemiro gets sold this summer, who will you bring in? Guimaraes or Amadou Nana from Everton? United will not be signing Bruno G. I highly doubt United will be allowed to sign a Newcastle player for at least the next 3 to 4 years because they are so pissed at us about Dan Ashworth. And if I were to sign one Newcastle player, it'd be Anthony Gordon or Tito Livramento. Actually, or Isak. They have a lot of good players, That's crazy. That list is gonna be long. Bro, it's gonna be long. To be fair, I'm a very opinionated person, and I have a lot of players that I have a lot of opinions about. Staffy always tells me, "Oh, it's always this player. This got to give it up, but this player got to give it up." This player, because he be naming me mid guys, bro. He never be talking to me about superstars and stuff like that. It's always the Matetas and I'm kind of guy. Shout out Mateta though. Good to see my brother Staffy. Big up Joe. Let's go Knicks. Yo, Knicks Nation, man. We here, man. We here. We outside tonight, man. We outside tonight. One day you're gonna see me on those side talk videos. Not soon, but maybe one day. Guimaraes and Paqueta and Pep Guardiola. Yeah, you guys are gonna go crazy this summer, man. Speak for us. The day Pep leads the league, man, we're gonna throw a celebration on Greg Talks. How important is it to go into the cup final with some sort of? It is important to go into the final with some sort of good form, but I think the fact that it's a Manchester Derby Cup final, I think for me, the form kind of goes out the window. I think the players know what's at stake, and it's hard. I understand, and actually, to be fair, you have a good point because United, I think, Ole's second year, right? We had top 4 locked up. We were confirmed we were finishing second for at least a good month, and we had the Europa League final to look forward to, and we kind of laid off a little bit. Players started getting a little bit small injuries. Maguire got hurt, and we ended up losing that Europa League final. So I kind of get where you're coming from, LFC Aaron, but yeah, man, we'll see. I understand where you're coming from though, and a couple of good form would be because actually, I would love to finish sixth. I would love to finish sixth in the Premier League. I don't want to finish 7th or 8th, but yeah, man. As a Warriors fan, good luck tonight against Pacers. Thank you. That dude on side talk who said that shit about the Knicks, yeah, it's crazy, bro. New Yorkers, bro. We be crazy individuals. And to be fair, those side talk guys, I don't really think they represent a small section of the crazy New Yorkers, Knicks fan base. A lot of more people are kind of laid back like me a little bit. Yeah, I'll get hyped about the Knicks, but I'm not gonna say some of the shit they say, right? Like we still be saying F Trae Young. It's been 5 years. It's been 4 years actually. We gotta give it up. But we gotta give it up about Trae Young. He's in the past, bro. We're better than the Hawks. They're in our rearview mirror. That was a great series for them. Good for them. But they won the battle. We won the war. It's great. So Philly, for example, I'm gonna have beef against Philly for a long time. First of all, I don't like the city of Philadelphia, sports-wise. I don't like them. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the Phillies. And I don't like the 76ers. And I definitely don't like Joel Embiid. So I don't care about the ATL, bro. Shout out Atlanta, bro. I love Atlanta. So yeah, Greg, is Harry Maguire and Varane be fit for FA Cup final against us? Otherwise, I think Leach is gonna be back by then, to be fair. But bro, honestly, it's gonna be a long day, bro. You could throw the freaking what's it called? World 11 out there, man. With Eric Ten Hag as coach, we ain't winning shit. If we got a full squad, it sounds funny, but I think we could share house to win. I'll say this though. The City team is beatable. Like they're more beatable than last year, for example. And we gave them a good fight in the FA Cup final last year. If David De Gea wasn't David De Gea, maybe we could have won. But yeah, man, I think the Knicks have not the Knicks. United do have a shot. You always have a puncher's chance, as they say, right? So United have a puncher's chance, but they're gonna have to land that first blow. If City score first in the FA Cup final, I promise you, we're not scamming a pen like we did last year. It's not happening. So United need to score first, and then pray that the opposite will happen at the Etihad happens. Score the second, and then maybe you have a shot. But yeah, that should be pretty much it. Any last questions? There we go. United have been scamming wins all season. Yeah, exactly, bro. What's more and more scam, right? What's it called? The final mission. One last scamming mission. Let's see if we can do it. 5-star settings on GTA. It's gonna be a tough one. Gonna need the best possible team in place and all that kind of stuff. But you never know, man. Maybe Ten Hag is Luster. Not really, because Luster was a genius. But big up, boy. Score prediction for tonight. I said 3-1 Crystal Palace. I said 2-1 or 3-1 Crystal Palace. I don't see United winning today. There's not a world that I see United winning today, man. I don't. Also, Palace always give us trouble, man. We never beat Palace comfortably. It's always 1-goal games. So jarring. But yeah. Griggs, any update GTA 6? I actually don't know. I haven't seen a GTA 6 new trailer, but I'm waiting for that game because that game might get me back into gaming. Otherwise, it's trying to play FIFA. Not really. I hate that game. I'm about to buy WWE 2K24, man. That game looks fun. But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys later today in about 5 hours when we talk about the game that we just watched. And then we'll see you after that. And also see you at A-listers at, I think, was it 11 p.m. UK time? I see about that. If it's away, we're not getting anything from that game, but I'm trying to see some new face. Yeah, man, I really want to see Ahmad start today, man. What is the point of Anthony starting today? What is the point of Anthony Dos Santos Jr. starting today? What do I gain from that? What do we gain from that? What does Eric Ten Hag gain from that? What does society gain from that? Yo, chat, do you want to say for me? 3 words, Safi. 3 words. Give it up. Pro Club site. 6 words for you there. There you go. 6 words. They didn't know that. I just didn't see it. Pro Club site. It's clip for that, man. It's clip for Pro Clubs. I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire FIFA player, man. I'm retired, man. I went outside, but it's cool. But yeah, 56 minutes, 19 of you still in here. I don't know how many likes we're on. I hope we at least hit the 20 mark. That'd be nice. Quick little, not really quick little video, but nice little hour stream early morning. Now I'm gonna go get my breakfast, bacon, egg, and cheese, because I can finally eat protein again after a week from fasting. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later today on multiple channels. Thank you for tuning in. Go New York, go. And I'll catch you guys later. Also, I guess GGMU, but we have to say that, right? See United hype, man. Peace.